What if I told you this movie was never supposed to succeed? Warner Brothers expected it to fail. Critics doubted it. And the studio nearly changed everything that later made it legendary. Yet this forgotten film from 1954 didn't just survive. It quietly created the blueprint for every modern monster movie. Here's the terrifying twist. You don't even see the monsters for almost 30 minutes. This is the true story of them. From 1954. And why Hollywood almost got it completely wrong. Title card, no voice. Them. 1954. The film that changed monster movies forever. Fact 1: A mystery before a monster. Before anyone sees a single ant, them feels like a serious crime thriller. The film opens in the New Mexico desert. Destroyed homes. Food supplies ripped apart. Personal belongings scattered in the sand. Then comes a haunting image. A young girl wandering alone, frozen in shock, unable to speak. There is no explanation. No monster reveal. Just silence and unease. Instead of cheap thrills, the film lets fear grow slowly. Something is out there. You can feel it. But you don't know what it is yet. Fact 2: The 30-minute gamble. In a monster movie, this was a dangerous choice. The ants don't appear for nearly half an hour. Studio executives worried audiences would get bored. Most monster films of the 1950s showed the creature immediately. But them trusted suspense over spectacle. By the time the ants finally appear, the tension has already done its work. The reveal doesn't shock. It overwhelms. Fact 3: Atomic fear made visible. The explanation is simple and terrifying. Giant ants, mutated by nuclear testing. In the early 1950s, nuclear science was new and frightening. People didn't know what radiation could really do. Them transformed that fear into a monster. The ants weren't just insects. They were symbols of humanity losing control over its own power. The real danger wasn't the ants. It was the atomic age itself. Fact 4: A movie that almost looked very different. Originally, Them was planned as a flashy color 3D film. Warner Brothers imagined ants jumping out of the screen and flamethrowers blasting toward the audience. But the technology failed. The cameras malfunctioned. The color footage looked muddy and unusable. At the last moment, the studio switched to black and white. That mistake became the film's greatest strength. Fact 5: Why black and white made it scarier. Black and white stripped the movie of fantasy. The harsh lighting, deep shadows, almost documentary-style realism. The ants didn't feel like cartoon monsters. They felt real. By accident, Them gained a serious tone that separated it from nearly every other monster movie of its era. Fact 6: Real weapons, real danger. When soldiers fight the ants, the danger is genuine. The flamethrowers weren't props. They were real World War II weapons. Even more shocking, the men operating them were actual war veterans. When flames burst toward the camera, that fear isn't acting. Audiences could sense it. Fact 7: The giant ants were mechanical nightmares. The ants weren't costumes. They were massive mechanical puppets. One weighed nearly 12 tons. Teams of crew members controlled every movement. Mandibles snapping. Antennae twitching. Eyes glowing in the darkness. They were loud, fragile, and difficult to operate. Sometimes parts even broke on camera. But when they worked, they terrified audiences. Fact 8: The sound that still haunts viewers. One of the scariest parts of them isn't visual. It's the sound. That high-pitched screech wasn't a roar. It felt unnatural and alive. Sound designers created it by mixing bird calls and insect noises. The result became iconic and was reused in Hollywood films for years. Once you hear it, you never forget it. Fact 9. Leonard Nimoy hiding in plain sight. Before becoming Spock, Leonard Nimoy appears briefly in them as an army sergeant. It's a blink and you miss it role. But looking back, it's surreal. One of science fiction's greatest icons. Quietly hiding inside a giant ant movie. Fact 10. John Wayne's unexpected influence. After watching them, John Wayne was impressed by actor James Arness. Wayne personally recommended him for a new television series. That show was Gunsmoke. It ran for 20 years and became one of the most iconic shows in television history. In a strange twist, giant ants helped create a TV legend. Fact 11. A studio that didn't believe. Warner Brothers expected them to fail. It was treated like a small, risky project, meant to quietly disappear. Instead, it became the studio's highest-grossing film of 1954. Even critics were surprised. A movie about ants had changed expectations. Fact 12. An Oscar-nominated monster movie. Them earned an Academy Award nomination for Best Special Effects. For a giant bug movie, this was almost unheard of. It proved that science fiction could be taken seriously. The genre was no longer just cheap entertainment. Fact 13. The real message of the film. Them ends with a warning. A reminder that the atomic age had opened doors humanity might not be able to close. The film wasn't asking viewers to fear insects. It was asking them to fear unchecked power. Fact 14. A blueprint for future monsters. Them influenced countless films that came after it. From Jaws to modern creature features, its DNA is everywhere. Suspense before spectacle. Atmosphere before action. Them wrote the rulebook. Fact 15. Why it still matters today. Nearly 70 years later, Them still works. Not because of its effects, but because of its restraint. It understands that fear grows in silence, not noise. That lesson still matters. Looking back, Them wasn't just a monster movie. It was a blueprint. Suspense over spectacle. Fear over shock. Meaning over noise. So the next time someone laughs at the idea of a movie about giant ants, remember this. Them didn't just scare audiences. It taught Hollywood how fear really works. If you enjoyed this deep dive into classic cinema, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And tell me, which fact about them surprised you the most?